So as a beginner using these AI tools, back then there was some mistakes I made, and I didn't really know that these were mistakes because there was no one to tell me. And but I find out that it was giving me issues while using these tools like ChatGPT and the rest of them. So I thought maybe it would be nice of me to like tell you what these mistakes are, so that you as a beginner or someone that is just starting to use these AI tools, you can avoid them and fix them, So that's the basics of this particular video. In this particular video, I'm going to be giving you some of the 5 biggest mistakes that most beginners make when they start out using this AI tools and like ChatGPT and the rest of them. So without wasting much time, let us just dive right in and see what these mistakes are and how we can actually fix them to get a better result. Yeah, please pardon me for not showing up for these few weeks. It's been a very stressful week, but now I'm here, and so yeah, let's do this right now. Number one mistakes that the most beginners make while using ChatGPT is treating ChatGPT like Google. That's the number one mistake. They treat it like Google. Most beginners treat it like a search engine. You just feel like you can type something random and just get different results. Different. No, ChatGPT doesn't work that way. You see, so you just be like, you just write something like a productivity tips out of nowhere, productivity tips, and you just expect that ChatGPT will give you what you are looking for. You will not get what you are looking for. It's kind of like too broad, so you won't really get what you are looking for. You need to be more specific. Okay, so instead of saying productivity tips, just you say, why don't you try something like this? Give me 5 productivity tips for a college student who struggles with procrastination. You see, this one now is more, there is context, it's clearer, and it's more specific. So ChatGPT knows where to come, the angle to come from. Okay, so that's the way you can handle this mistake of treating ChatGPT like Google or like a search engine. You have to be clear and you have to be more specific. Yeah, from the videos that I've made so far, you have by now you understand that ChatGPT works better with clearer instructions and better context. So in that particular example that I gave, that you should use is a college student, and then struggles with procrastination. Give me 5 productivity tips for a college student that struggles with procrastination. I think that is more specific and that's better context. You get. So let us move on to the second item on our list. Mistake number 2, giving vague prompts. You see, back then when using ChatGPT and any other AI tool out there, you see, we tend to give vague prompts. It's a very common mistake. Example of a very vague prompt is, write me a YouTube script on productivity. That's a very vague prompt. Okay, so to correct that, you can say something like this instead. Write a 3-minute YouTube script explaining why beginners struggle with productivity. Use a friendly tone and a simple language. You get now. You see how this one is more, more. It's now less vague. You get. So with this one now, ChatGPT knows the length it's going to give you. It knows the tone, and it also knows the topic. So definitely, when you use this particular prompt, the outcome becomes much better than this. Write me a useful script on productivity. That's vague. So let me repeat that prompt again. You say, write a 3-minute YouTube script explaining why beginners struggle with productivity. Use a friendly tone and a simple language. Okay, so that's the prompt that you can use to correct this vague prompts, this mistake of giving vague prompts. And as a beginner, it's a common mistake. We all made this mistake. I made this mistake where I started out there, but now I know how to correct this. Okay, and I believe that you are understanding how to correct this also. You should just try this out on your own, and you can see that this prompt I'm giving here, you must not use it exactly. It's just to guide you on, this structure, how you can structure your own and make it less vague, okay, for you to get better outcome. So let us move on to the third mistakes that most beginners make while starting out using ChatGPT or any other AI tool out there. All right, guys. So mistake number 3 is not giving ChatGPT a role. You need to assign a role to ChatGPT. Tell it who it should act like. Instead of writing something like, say, give me a study tip. Give me a study tip. There's no role in that particular prompt. So if we want to include a role in that particular prompt, this is how you should type that a better prompt. Okay, you say something like this: act like a productivity coach and give me 5 study tips for students who get distracted easily. Okay, so now the response you get becomes more helpful and more specific. You get, so that's how you get better response. Okay, and that's how you can also avoid this mistake of you know not giving it an identity. You must tell it to act like someone. It performs better that way because it becomes like a professional in that particular field of activity. You get, so in order for you to get better results and in order for you to avoid that mistake, you must tell it to give it a role, assign a role to the ChatGPT, assign a role to it. So when you use this particular prompt, the response becomes more focused and helpful. Okay, so it completely changes the quality of the answer you get from ChatGPT. So let us move on to the fourth mistake that most beginners make while starting out using ChatGPT. Okay, so the fourth mistake that most beginners make is expecting the perfect answer in just one try. You see, most beginners think that when you ask ChatGPT, give it a prompt and it gives you a response, that's the best that you can get from that particular, response. No, that's very wrong. Okay, ChatGPT works best in the form of conversation. Okay, you need to refine and refine. For example, let me give an example to make this clear. You say something like this: write a short motivational paragraph. So that's the first one. You don't think that it's not going to give you a perfect answer in that first one, a perfect response. So when you look at it and you see that, okay, this thing is not good enough for me, I want something better. So this is the next line of prompt that you can give it for you to like refine this the answer it gave you. So you put the next line of prompt, say, make it more inspiring and add an example. Make it more inspiring and add an example. When you do this, ChatGPT will now follow your instruction and make it refine the first response it gave you, and it will even add an example. Then when it gives that one and you read it and you are okay with it, you can say, or maybe you're not yet okay with it, maybe it's filled with a complicated sentence and whatever. You say, okay, so you go further and say, write your third prompt. Say something like this: simplify the language for beginners. That's the third one. Simplify the language for beginners. And then it will give you a third response that simplifies the language for beginners. So you find out that this is how actually professionals get better prompts from using this AI and ChatGPT or other AIs out there. It's called refining. You are refining your response. Okay, so this is how you get fantastic results from this AI. You don't just stop there and just use one prompt and expect it to give you the best. No, it's that refining that will give you the best. It's when you refine it, just like you are refining crude. When you refine crude oil, you refine before you get your fuel, you get your diesel, you get your what have you. So it's all about refining. Okay, you don't just get your fuel from crude once. You must do refining. You get, so that's just how this ChatGPT works too. You refine. Okay, so let us go to the last but not the least mistake that most beginners make while starting out using ChatGPT. Another mistake most beginners make is not asking for a specific format for the answers. You know, you need to, most beginners make that mistake of not telling ChatGPT the format that they want their answers. For example, you say something like, explain time management. You put a prompt like this, explain time management. When you do something like this, when you put prompts like this without telling it the format you want, you can get something very long and not very arranged. You get. So if you want to fix this, this is how you can actually fix this particular prompt to get a better result. You say something like this: explain time management in 5 bullet points with short explanation. Or you can also say something like this: explain time management like I'm a 12-year-old. You get. The point here is not just all the bullet points. It can be bullet points. It can be summaries, tables, examples, steps. So that is just the point I'm trying to make here. It's not just bullet points, okay? But you need to give it a format. So these are the various formats that you can use, okay? So basically, when you give ChatGPT a format for it to use to present your answer, the response or the answers becomes easier to use, easier for you to use, and it becomes better. As in, how will I put it? It becomes easily presentable or better presentable than when it just gives you a long paragraph and stuff. You get. So you need to control the outputs. You need to control the output. Tell it how you want the format to be like. Okay. All right, guys. So just before you write your next prompt into ChatGPT or any other AI out there, just remember this biggest beginner mistake that you should avoid. And number one is treating ChatGPT like Google. 2, writing vague prompts. 3, not assigning a role. And number 4, expecting perfect answers instantly. And number 5, not asking for a format. So when you remember all this before you put in your prompts into ChatGPT, you find out that you'll be more guided in how you write, what you write, and you tend to get better results than 99% of the users of these AI tools out there. Okay, so basically that's a wrap of what we just about this video. All right, guys, so if you found this video very useful, please give it a like, and if you want to continue seeing videos like this from me, please subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on the next video I'll be giving. Thank you for your time and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.